Everyone expected just another dull morning at Shinsho Karate Academy. But then she appeared. Emma Daniels, pale as porcelain, shoulders hunched, gripping her backpack like it could shield her from the world. She didn't look like someone who belonged in a dojo. Timid, fragile, invisible almost. Her hoodie swallowed her frame, laces flopped loose over worn sneakers, and her gaze was glued to the floor, as if the world didn't dare meet her eyes. The moment she stepped through the sliding doors, the laughter hit like a wave. Not quiet, whispers, loud, sharp, mocking. "Yo, who let the librarian in?" Marco barked, smirking like he owned the room. Behind him, Deshawn, Tyler, and Belle snickered, a trio of brown belt bullies fueled by ego, practice, and cruelty. They thrived on picking apart anyone who seemed out of place. But Emma didn't flinch. Not a twitch. Not a blink. She just stood there, glasses slipping down her nose, absorbing every sneer and laugh with quiet stillness. "Emma, welcome," said Sensei Wadabe, his voice calm but carrying the weight of decades. The old black belt's eyes were sharp, piercing through the noise, reading the girls, Onisand, maybe, just maybe, sensing something hidden beneath it. "Welcome, Emma, ready to train?" Sensei Wadabe asked, his voice gentle but firm. Emma gave a barely there nod, a whisper of a movement, but it was enough. Warm-ups began, and she moved with the stiffness of someone used to hiding in plain sight, back row, trying not to be noticed. Her stretches were awkward, jerky. Her punches didn't quite land where they should, and her kicks seemed unsure of themselves. Marco, ever the show-off, threw a fake punch her way, grinning as she jumped back. "Whoa, careful there, princess," he jeered. "Come on, sensei." Marco groaned when sparring pairs were called. "She's gonna cry if I sneeze near her. Just let her sit this one out." Sensei Wadub's eyes narrowed. "Marco, you will spar with Emma. Respect is part of the discipline, or push-up. Your choice." Snickers erupted around the room. Marco bowed theatrically, smirk plastered across his face. "Yes, sensei." "1 minute. I won't even need that." Emma stepped forward, slowly, each heartbeat hammering in her chest like a drum. Her hands shook, but this time, when she looked up, her eyes met Marco's and they didn't waver. No one in the dojo knew what lay beneath that quiet, pale exterior. Emma had been training in secret since she was 7. Her father, a US Marine turned sensei, had pushed her every day after school in their cramped garage. She knew the techniques, the moves, the discipline, but stepping into a public class, that had always been the hardest part. Until today, the timer beeped. Marco charged with a mocking jab, his grin wide and cocky. But Emma moved like lightning, deflecting, sliding inside his range, and with a swift sweep, she sent his legs flying. Marco crashed to the mat with a thud that echoed across the dojo before he could recover. Emma twisted him into a flawless arm lock, pinning his dominant side. "What the?" He yelped, struggling, desperate. Emma released, bowed, and stepped back. Silence swallowed the room. Deshawn stepped forward, veins pulsing, eyes furious. She got lucky. "My turn." Sensei didn't intervene. "Begin." Emma didn't hesitate. She ducked under his strike, snapped his wrist, and executed a controlled shoulder lock, dropping him cleanly. The whoosh of air escaping his lungs made the room shiver. Tyler and Belle froze, unwilling to step forward. When the 60 seconds were up, Emma stood alone in the center, unscathed, steady, untouched. Not a bruise, not a wasted breath. And for the first time that day, the dojo held no laughter, only stunned, wide-eyed silence. After class, Sensei Wadabe approached her, a small, knowing smile on his face. "You hid well. Why?" Emma glanced around at the other students. Their eyes weren't cruel anymore. They weren't laughing. They were watching her, with something new, respect. "I wasn't hiding, Sensei," Emma said softly, her voice steady for the first time. "I was just waiting for the right moment to stop being afraid." That night, the story spread through the dojo like wildfire. The quiet, pale girl had taken down the academy's top students in under a minute. But it wasn't just the speed or skill, it was something deeper, something unexpected. Quiet strength. Emma returned the next day, and the day after that, not to prove herself, not for revenge, not for attention. She came because she finally understood she belonged. She had stepped into the space she'd earned, and for the first time, she didn't shrink from it. And those who had mocked her, they watched. They learned. Because real strength doesn't have to shout. It doesn't need to be flashy. It just has to show up, fully, bravely. Even if it's in oversized hoodies, untied sneakers, and glasses, walking quietly through the door.